Welcome to my channel. Today's story takes you into a moment where silence, fear, and fate collided, and where one unexpected voice changed everything. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear will remind you that courage often hides. In the quietest souls, the desert heat was crushing that afternoon as a convoy of armored vehicles pushed carefully across the rugged terrain, hauling soldiers and vital supplies toward a distant outpost. Above them, the steady chop of a Blackhawk helicopter echoed through the valleys, a reassuring sound that meant protection. That aircraft was their shield, scanning every ridge and shadow for danger. But even the strongest machines can fail. Just 40 minutes into the flight, the helicopter shuddered. Sharp sputter ripped through the cabin, followed by a deep, ugly cough from the engines. Warning lights flooded the dashboard with red. Inside, soldiers gripped their seats as the aircraft began to vibrate violently. "Engine 1 failure," the pilot called out, fighting the controls. Attempting restart, no response. The commander leaned forward, his face tight. He understood what this meant. Damaged Blackhawk, deep in hostile territory, carrying a full crew and critical cargo. Every second mattered. The helicopter began to lose altitude. From the ground, the convoy watched in horror as it dipped and tilted, struggling against gravity. Radios burst to life with frantic voices, and the aircraft finally slammed into the desert in a rough emergency landing. A cloud of dust swallowed it whole. For a moment, there was relief. They were alive. But that relief didn't last. The Blackhawk was down, its engine silent. The outpost was still miles away, and enemy fighters were known to be nearby. They were exposed and running out of time. The commander gathered the soldiers. Tension thick in the air. "We need that helicopter flying," he said. "We can't protect both the convoy and a grounded aircraft. If the enemy takes it, this mission is lost." The pilot was shaken. The co-pilot was injured. They needed someone else to take the controls. Silence spread through the group. Boots shifted in the sand. Eyes dropped to the ground. "Forward. Any Blackhawk pilots here?" the commander asked, his voice heavy with urgency. Only the wind answered, until a soft voice spoke from the edge of the group. "I can fly it." Heads snapped around. The voice belonged to a young woman most of them barely noticed. She worked in logistics, moving supplies, filling out reports, always quiet, always in the background. The commander frowned. "What did you say?" "Forward, steady under dozens of doubtful stares." "I said I can fly it, sir. I trained on Blackhawks in flight school. I logged over 200 hours before being reassigned." Murmurs rippled through the soldiers. Could this quiet, soft-spoken woman really handle a machine that demanded nerves of steel? The commander studied her, weighing every life in that desert. "If you fail," he said quietly, "we all fail." Her answer was calm. "Then I won't fail." After a long pause, he nodded. "Get her in the cockpit." She climbed into the pilot's seat, buckling in with confident, practiced hands. The injured co-pilot gave her a faint, hopeful smile. The shaken pilot handed over the controls. She rested her hands on the instruments, feeling the weight of what rested on her shoulders. She whispered something, maybe a prayer, maybe a message. Brought the systems online. The rotors groaned, then began to spin. Slowly at first, then faster, until the air filled with the deep, powerful thrum everyone had been praying to hear. The helicopter lifted, wobbling dangerously. Dust exploded into the air. For a terrifying moment, it looked like it might fall. Again, then, with careful corrections, she steadied it. "Bring her home," the commander said over the radio. She didn't reply. She just flew. The Blackhawk rose higher, finding balance in her hands. Below, soldiers cheered as their guardian took to the sky once more. But danger was still close. Smoke plumes appeared on the horizon. Gunfire cracked from the ridges. Tracer. Rounds streaked past the helicopter. She flew low, then high, weaving through the terrain with calm precision. When bullets flashed too close, she banked hard, slipping through the air like she had done it 1,000 times. Inside the cockpit, her heart raced. She thought of home, of the dream she once had of being a full-time pilot. That dream was carrying lives at last. the outpost appeared ahead. Cheers burst through the radio as she guided the Blackhawk down. Touching the ground smoothly, the soldiers rushed in, unloading cargo and helping the wounded. The commander stepped out last and looked up at her in the cockpit. Her hands were trembling now that it was over. "You saved more lives than you'll ever know," he said. Word spread fast. The quiet girl no one noticed had done what no one else could. She had flown a crippled Blackhawk through enemy fire and brought everyone home. That night, beneath the desert sky, laughter and relief filled the air. And among the soldiers sat the same quiet woman, no longer invisible, forever remembered. When the commander raised a toast, he said, "To the pilot we never knew we had, and the hero we'll never forget." So remember this: courage doesn't always shout, sometimes it whispers, and then it takes flight. Thank you for watching this story on States of History. If it moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that heroes are often hidden in plain sight